Hey there, Scott here from Allan Online and 7-Figure Sales Academy. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about, is selling today harder than ever? Now, in many ways, the process of selling is not much different from what it's always been. Salespeople still need to talk with the right prospects at the right time about the right topics so they'll commit to a decision. So with that being said, why does it feel more difficult today than 5 or even only 2 years ago? You see, buyers struggle with an overwhelming amount of work and responsibilities that compete for both their time and energy. But what has changed is the level of complexity and the length of the sales cycle due to a number of factors. Now, no doubt, the more people involved in the decision, the more complex your sales process will be, and the longer it may take to close the deal. So as an example of that, in a recent study, chief sales officers indicated that the sales cycle is getting longer, especially deals with new customers that now take an average of 6 months or longer. And again, according to research cited by CEB, buyers conduct between 57 and 70% of their purchase process before their first contact with a supplier or vendor. And today, the most successful sellers are involved from the very beginning, challenging their buyers into action and helping to create the impetus for change. So in other words, successful sellers today don't wait for buyers to identify a need. They instigate the need by challenging a buyer's comfort with the status quo. The modern salesperson is more likely to earn the coveted front-runner status on these complex or high-value deals through the course of these efforts. The most important characteristic for how to adapt to this new buyer environment is this: a buyer's decision is no longer made on the merits of a product or solution alone. The startling reality is it doesn't really matter how great your product or service is in the end. If your offering doesn't fit in with the buyer's existing processes, product strategy and plans, you can quite frankly forget about making a sale. And that means few sellers are able to compete based on what they sell. The new battleground for differentiation in the marketplace is how well salespeople can communicate customer value and execute in a complex environment. In other words, it's now about how you sell. So old sales habits, processes and strategies will not work in the new selling era. Success requires a commitment to best practices designed for the way today's buyers actually buy. Trying harder by making more calls or going on more appointments simply won't cut it. The answer is getting in early, building interest with your ideal customers, prioritizing efforts and juggling activities, and it requires a rock-solid methodology. A methodology that's overly complicated, or on the contrary, one that's too loose-knit, simply won't do. Now, both for differing reasons keep salespeople and business owners like you from executing at their best. And as discussed earlier, how you sell is arguably now more important than what you sell. A seller's opportunity to influence purchase decisions has significantly declined now that buyers conduct their own research and tend to go it alone during the first 2/3 or so of the process. That being said though, buyers expect more from salespeople when they do actually finally interact. So gone are the days when a salesperson can wing a sales call and expect success by relying on their broad knowledge of a product detail, for example. Sellers must be informed and the information they share must be relevant and targeted to each buyer's situation, industry and persona. So more than anything, it means sellers need to be buyer-focused instead of seller-focused. In the world of complex selling, it's more important to be a coach or a doctor who diagnoses problems than it is to be a number cruncher. Remember, quality outweighs quantity, and quality won't matter if the execution is subpar. Want to learn more sales tips and strategies? Feel free to check out my free 4-video masterclass on selling to the modern customer at 7figuresalesacademy.io/masterclass. And as always, I'm here for you. Your time is now. Let's crush it together.